Happy New Year, season skeetings, as we say around here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I want to hit 200,000 subscribers before 2025 is out. Let's get to the video. All right, so we have Sharelle Rosado, I believe that's her name. Relle Ochocinco, the retired football players, ex-girlfriend or ex-fiance. They have a child together. They've broken up a few months ago. Old news by now. And she goes on another podcast. I believe this gentleman's name is Carlos King, and where she talks for an hour, and 45 of those 60 minutes are about Chad Ochocinco. And I know the squad would ask, why is she back talking, Coop? I don't know. She don't know. But here we are again. Let's go.
To LA. And I'm on Instagram. And I see my girl Sharelle announce that you were single. I was shocked. Because listen, I'm a huge fan of The Nightcap with Shay and Chad. It's a great show.
And me, I have my Relle report.
Well, no, I was going to get to that.
I'm part of the Relle report of Nightcap.
No, I know. I was going to get to that because I was going to say, I also love when you and your Versace robe, you come into the show with your Relle report. And I'm speaking for the world. Right. We all love the camaraderie between you and Chad. So when you announced that you two weren't together, it was a shock to all of us. And then, a thirsty girl, no shade, sis. It is what it is, girl. The thirst is real. Hey, Nene.
It is.
Mentioned something along the lines of she wanted Chad, and
I'm about to slide in them DMs. And I was like, don't catch nothing. And people was like, oh, no, did he give you something? No, he didn't. What I was saying was everybody trying to jump on dick and everything else. Be careful because you might catch something.
But don't get it mistaken. She purposely worded it like that to insinuate as if he did.
And then I looked at it. I was like, damn, I should have never wrote that. But I was pissed. But no, he did. For everyone who was asking, no, he did not give me anything.
Okay, so let's clear this up. Did Chad give you an STD?
No.
He just said.
Okay.
She just said he didn't.
And people always want to slide in them DMs. So I'm like, don't catch nothing. You trying to know everything, don't catch anything.
Okay, so when you and Chad were together, it was a monogamous relationship.
When we were together, there was some going on, and I found out about it. Texting other women, sleeping around. I found out about it, and I was like, this shit, like, you know who I am? Like, I know who you are. I'm gonna respect what you have, but it is what it is, and nobody's perfect. I just feel like when things happen, be honest about it. Like, it shouldn't lead to that point of how I'm finding out. Yes, I went through the phone, and that's how I found out. But
okay, because word on the street is that you discovered Chad was cheating on you with home surveillance footage.
No, that's not true.
That's not true.
I went through the phone.
You went through his phone, and what did you see exactly?
Women. Just women everywhere.
Like photos of women.
They're gonna throw themselves at him because of who he is. Chad is a fine ass man. Like, he's very good looking, and he's showing out now because he's in the gym. But yeah, it was.
Was it text messages?
Look at Carlos.
Because I want to be.
Listen.
No, because I want to be able to make sure you clear the air. Because again, a lot of people did think he gave you an STD.
He did not give
okay,
me.
so we want to make that clear.
He never gave me an STD.
Okay, so I'm glad we made that clear.
Yeah.
A lot of people ran with the story that you saw him having sex with another woman in the house.
I would be in this chair right now if that happened.
Okay.
This was a 60-minute interview. I watched the first 33 minutes of it. So I admit that I didn't watch it in its entirety, but I watched over half of it. The half that I saw, she never actually admitted that Chad cheated. Maybe he did and she just didn't want to say it, but she never verbalized that he actually cheated on her. I just wanted to clear it up because she's going to talk about her ex-husband and she's not going to hesitate saying that he stepped out allegedly. But just wanted to point it out how the narrative is that Chad cheated on her and that's why she broke up, but she never actually stated it herself, just for the record.
Okay.
You'll have to bail me out, Carlos.
Okay, and I will. You my sis. I got you. We're going to accept the plea deal, though, but I'm going to make sure to bail you out. I got you, babe. I got you. I promise.
No, I respect Chad, and, at the end of the day, we're still a family. Like, no matter what things happen, nobody's perfect, and I'm not here to judge him because I've had, infidelity issues. It happened to me. I did it to someone when I was in my younger days. So, I mean, things happen. We were going through a rough patch, but instead of like leaning on someone else, we should have came closer and spoke on it.
When you discovered he was entertaining other women via the phone, were you two not in the best place in the relationship at the time?
No, we was not.
You were not.
Because he's working all over the place and I'm working, filming. It was just a lot. It was very stressful. And going back and forth, my kids were in school, so when I wasn't filming, I was up in Tampa. So it was a lot going on.
When you discovered that, what did you do after going through his phone?
We can't talk about that.
Did you get violent?
I did not get violent, Carlos.
Okay.
There's not a violent bone in my body.
You are a Libra woman. Yes, it is. You're a Libra woman.
No, we had a few words.
You had did a couple of things get thrown in his direction?
I cannot speak on that.
Okay.
That's childish shit.
Did you cry?
Of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He did too.
What made him cry?
You know, probably thinking of losing what we have. Or, you know, I don't know but he cried too.
I'm not here to make excuses for him.
No.
I'm not. I like to have a real conversation, especially when it comes to couples and relationships. We all make mistakes. Yes. And I'm not here to excuse the mistake that he made, right? And I would love to hear more just about the place that you're in today. He is somebody who obviously is used to women throwing themselves at him.
And they be throwing them. They be throwing themselves. It's hard to deal with someone of where he's at. It's very hard. You have to have a strong, because the shit that I see, Carlos, it's crazy.
Would women try to go after him in front of you?
If it's some that has been bold, they will not speak. They'll come straight to him. It's just the respect. Like you see him with his woman, at least, hey, how you doing? They'll be like, come here, let me take a picture and be all over him. I'm like, okay, but some people just don't have respect. But I've learned to deal with it. It's not, but it's like you get used to it.
But I don't.
But he's very respectful when it comes to that. He'll be like, come here, baby. Or like, hold my phone, baby, or something like that, and take the picture and walk away.
Okay.
He don't entertain them.
Doesn't entertain that. Would you see, when you guys were in a great place in a relationship, would you see that women were in his DMs? Would he show it to you like, babe, look at this craziness?
Sometimes he'll show just the, the little scallywags he'll show, like, look at him. But, that's a little cop-out sometimes with men. That's a cop-out that men do, to be like, I'm on my best behavior. But what are them other DMs that you did respond to?
I didn't think about that.
Why is she doing this interview?
Because the thing is this, you obviously are high profile yourself. Mm-hmm. And it's not like he kept this relationship a secret. The Nightcap receives millions of views on a weekly basis. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows about the two of you guys being in a relationship. Did you think because the relationship was public that would protect you from experiencing infidelity?
I did a video a couple months ago. I think Corey Holcomb reacted to the Relle Ochocinco breakup. And I said that then and I'll say it now. But let me put a caveat on that before I start. I watch Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho. I don't watch it on a regular basis. Every now and then I'll check in. I said all that to say this. The times that I saw the show and Relle was on there, I just didn't think that was a good idea because one, you want to keep your relationship as private as possible, especially when you're a public figure. But then also, it seemed to me, and I could be wrong here, y'all let me know in the comments, it seemed to me like she was really enjoying that attention on being on the show, and them kind of airing out some of their personal stuff, possibly, in my opinion, may have led to the breakup. Who knows?
Of course not. I mean, again, I knew what I signed myself up for when I started dating him. He's a high-profile retired athlete, and some people just don't care if you're in a relationship or not. They look at it like, well, I'm not in a relationship. That ain't my problem. But I think the biggest thing with us, and who knows, maybe a year or two after therapy, whatever. We're both in therapy.
Together or separately?
Separately.
Okay.
It may bring us back together. You never know. Because he's a great guy. Chad is an amazing person. Like, out of my relationships, he's probably the best I've been with on a serious note. Like, he's very supportive. He has done a lot to help me. Of course, you know, I had my own coming into this relationship, but he took it to a whole nother level. No jealousy. He always support me. Whatever I need, he's there. And even to this day now, like, I'll say, hey, can you do this or that? And he's there while working 50,000 jobs. So
It's one of those things that that comes up when people talk about deal breakers. When it comes to you, was cheating the deal breaker for you, or was that just the final straw and you guys had other issues that sort of like led up to that?
there wasn't other issues. I think the main thing was, I would say, the cheating. I feel like we should have communicated better because I reacted out of anger when I said, y'all can have his ass. Because I felt like, okay, now you playing with my name. Like, I'm not just this regular little female. Like, I have a name as well. And I think I let the anger overtake because I never went to social media about our problems. And I was just fed up. I'm like, okay, you want to around and play with me? I'm about to let it.
And that's another thing about this situation as well, is that Relle, she talks as if she's on the same level as Ochocinco. Like, I understand Ocho's retired now, but if you know anything about Ocho, you know that he's notoriously frugal with his money, and he's not like a lot of dumb athletes who make a ton of money and blow it. He definitely has the bag, but she acts as if she's on his level for being on like a reality TV show where they were selling houses in Florida or something. Like, you're not on Chad's level.
I probably, looking at it today, I probably would have went a better way of doing it than just going straight to social media. But I want to show him I wasn't playing.
Yeah, and listen, I don't think you owe anybody an apology about what you did because, listen, at the end of the day, I know you. You, and you're a Libra, like me.
Yes.
When a Libra is in love,
We're in love.
we don't see
Tunnel
anything
vision.
else. Now, granted, I said I cheated, but I was younger. So, like,
Right.
leave me alone. But when you're in love, we don't see anything else, especially at this grown age. Like, we've all had experiences, and you feel like this person is your happily ever after. Do you see a world in which you two can't get back together? Because what he has said on camera on his show with Shay is the fact that he didn't like that you exposed that you guys were broken up. Do you think that's because he's afraid of a man approaching you and he could lose you to another man?
Probably so. I think his biggest thing, he don't like when we're in a vulnerable state, and the outsiders can come in and easily. But that's probably another one. I don't know. But Chad doesn't like to be. It probably was embarrassment, and he doesn't like that. Like, he likes to see the good in everything. So I think it was more of the embarrassment that how it was, because I went viral with it, with my little comment.
What do you have to say to women and people on social media who's like, girl, we told you. You defended that man. We tried to tell you he's a cheater, pumpkin eater.
But if you think about it, everyone has some type of issues, some type of problems. Them saying that, I mean, they probably dealing with the same shit too. They just ain't talking about it. A lot of people speak on other people's relationships and going through it 10 times worse. I don't listen to it. I just read it. Some people I snap back on are the ones, well, you cheated on your ex-husband for him.
What I say?
You don't know my story. Y'all don't know what happened. We weren't married. He married me after I stepped out with Chad because he didn't want to lose me.
We got to add some context here. She did an interview months ago, and I'll play the clip if need be, where she admitted that she stepped out on her husband with Chad. She never mentioned what she just mentioned right now. And she's claiming now that they weren't married when she did that. They got married afterwards. The dude married her after she cheated on him with Ocho, which doesn't really sound right, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt and say it's true. She never said that in the other interview. That's what I'm calling cap.
You were in a relationship prior to meeting Chad.
Yes,
you were
with my son's father.
With your son's father, and you cheated on your son's father with Chad.
Yes.
You stepped outside of the relationship.
It was done. Like, I went through so much with him. It was a lot. And
Then why would you marry him afterwards then?
And it was to a point where I was like, whatever. Like, we were building a house and everything. We were not married, but we were We were together for 6 years. So, but it was so much after when you're getting cheated on constantly and you're staying there like you pregnant and they're not there, they're out with their ex. It was so much going on in that relationship, and I finally had enough. I was like, I'm just gonna do me.
Did Chad approach you knowing you were in this relationship?
I approached Chad. Actually, this is what I did. I was laying on the couch because I was pissed off, and we had just got to arguing, and it was that Sunday, and I sent heart eyes because I was watching his story. I sent heart eyes, and he responded right back. And
I bet he did.
Chad has always been my celebrity crush.
Really?
Yes.
For like years.
Years. He was my favorite athlete. He's always been like, I have never felt a way about a man the way that I feel about Chad. Ever. I know, it's crazy.
So when people say, well, it's karma, Sharelle.
Yes, they be like, well, it's karma. You cheated on your husband for him. No, it's not, because I went through a lot. I should have left. And I think that was my biggest message to people when I was telling that story is, instead of trying to stay for your kids or for financial reasons, it's better to leave than continue to hurt each other. And that was the point I was trying to get across.
It don't matter however way you try to word it or splice it. Yes, that was karma. You cheated on your husband to get with Chad, and Chad allegedly cheated on you with someone else.
Instead, I stayed. He proposed to me, and we got married. And I cut off communication with Chad, and he can tell you this. And we stayed married for like 7 months, and I was like, I can't do it. Mm-hmm. Like, you only married me because you didn't want me to leave you.
And you agreed to that marriage.
And do you think he proposed to you because he knew that you were?
I told him.
You told?
I told him I stepped out.
With Chad Ochocinco?
Mm-hmm.
Are you and Chad still intimate?
No, he ain't get none of this.
He already had it.
This is a prize down here.
And not the kind you get at the state fair. Okay. Are you intimate with anyone else?
No, I'm not.
Okay, girl, just checking.
I have my toy.
Okay.
Man, she has 3 children by 3 different men. One of them being Ocho. And she's talking about he can't have none of this. It's the prize. He already been there and done that. What are we talking about here, man? Relle doesn't seem like a horrible person, but she is very delusional. And I mean no offense by this. She's in her 40s, but she comes off as a very young-minded. You would think that she was a woman like in her late teens or like early 20s when she comes to like this dating and being the prize and thinking that she's on the same level as Ochocinco. Stop. And it's obvious she still got feelings for him. And Ocho simp ass probably still want her too. Why don't y'all get back together and be a family, I guess. I just don't see the point of her going on these shows and talking about it, man. Just talking about their relationship. It's over and done with. What's the point of going out there discussing it other than just clout or attention? And you know what they say, man, karma's a bitch. She alleges that Chad stepped out. I'm not defending that, won't even pretend to. But also at the same time, you left your husband to be with Chad. And also, do you guys believe this part that she said as well, that her and her ex weren't married when she hooked up with Chad? They got married afterwards, after she told him that they went and got married. I'm not buying that because she didn't say that in the original interview. I'm thinking she made this up to try to save face a little bit. And I also think she definitely has an accountability issue because nothing is never her fault. It's not karma, it just is what it is. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Do better, squad. Fall out.